Well, hello, this is Cindy at Ask Cindy Connector Live. Make sure that you follow me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and of course, go to YouTube, hit subscribe, and hit that bell icon. So, really quickly, a little bit about the show. I am Ask Cindy Connector, and about 10 years ago, one of my networking buddies actually started calling me Ask Cindy Connector. And 6 months ago, I actually started this StreamYard podcast. So, if you are a small to medium sized business, and you want to have a podcast just like this, make sure that you go to StreamYard.com. I'm also an ambassador with National Day Calendar. So, really quick plug, go to nationaldaycalendar.com to check out each national day. It is also National Humor Month. So, just a few for today: Peanut Butter and Jelly Day, World Autism Awareness, and of course, Good Friday. So today I have my friend Eric. We're actually networking buddies from way back in the day. I think we've known each other probably 5 or 6 years. He is an author and a professional speaker, and I'm so pleased to have him on the show today. So Eric, tell us all about your story and how did you get involved in your current industry?
Well, I started off in sales back in the early 1990s. I was terrible at selling. I ended up working for a real estate investor, and I thought I was going to learn real estate, and he offered me a sales job. So at the end of my first year, after missing the quota 2 months in a row, I was told I had one more month to hit quota or I'd be let go. And I met my mentor, Dr. Donald Moyne. The next month I hit quota. The month after that, I did 5 times quota. I went from worst to first in 60 days. I've never looked back. I've gone on to do millions and millions of dollars in sales. And what I learned from that experience is that selling is a learned skill. So I love to teach. And so I ended up starting a sales training company back in 1999. And my life from a career standpoint is dedicated to helping people improve their sales skills so they can make more money and get their message out to the world or their product or service. So that's a little bit about my background.
So tell my audience what your niche market is.
It's anybody that wants to improve their sales skills. So it could be traditional salespeople. It could be a small business owner, a coach, a consultant, a network marketer, someone who's delivering a presentation that if they get a yes, they're going to make a commission. So that's who my target market is.
So can you tell me the power of no?
Well, there's a speaker out there named Andrea Waltz. And she wrote a book about go for no. And I really agree with that concept. And the reality is this: the rhythm of prospecting is no, 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 yes. So you want to get to that yes, there's a lot of no's leading up to that. And what I teach is when you prospect, you pat yourself on the back. If you get an appointment, you pat yourself on the back. So you win either way. When I prospect, I win. When I book the appointment, I double win. I win no matter what. Most people, it's win-lose. So if I prospect and I get a no, it's like, I'm absorbing some pain. I don't ever absorb that blow. It's always an acknowledgement for the activity. So all throughout the day, I'm winning and I'm succeeding. And that mindset will give any entrepreneur an advantage.
Would you like to talk about LinkedIn for a minute or so?
Sure. Yeah. LinkedIn is a tremendous opportunity. You know, from a prospecting standpoint, the advanced search, you can go into LinkedIn if you're looking for chiropractors in San Jose, California. You can go in and be that specific. And you can start building rapport with people right on LinkedIn, giving people what they want. So if you think about on social media, why does somebody post something? They want likes and comments. So you can go on LinkedIn, you can find your prospects, you can like and comment, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Build rapport with people by just clicking a button, giving people what it is that they want. So LinkedIn is many, many social media platforms, powerful tool we can use.
Well, there's one thing that I dislike about LinkedIn, and I'm actually pretty candid when people do this. So they'll send me a message. They'll say, "Hi, Cindy. Thank you for being my LinkedIn friend." And there's like 8 paragraphs and then a link to prospecting me. How do you handle that?
Well, unfortunately, there are some trainers out there that are teaching that technique. So
Oh my Lord.
if you think about us entrepreneurs, right? So if somebody's on LinkedIn, they don't know how to do it. So then they reach out to an expert, teach me how to do LinkedIn. And then the expert says, hey, here's what you're going to do. Copy paste is not the best approach because we feel that on the receiving end. So if you'll take the time, just a little bit of extra time, and personalize the message, and yeah, you can't send as many, but the effectiveness is going to go skyrocketing through the roof as far as your persuasiveness.
Mm-hmm.
If you'll take the time and send a sincere message in reaching out and connecting. You and I recently connected for me to be on your show here through Facebook. And all of your communication with me was a sincere communication, and I responded. I loved it, right? And here we are. So it really does work.
Yeah, so a lot of the messages I've been getting on LinkedIn were just all about getting me to their website. And I even said, why don't we schedule a one-on-one, get to know each other? And I don't mind a link. Like if I have a one-on-one, I'll tell someone, hey, send me your link, because from when we have that one-on-one until we have our next one-on-one, you don't know who I'm going to meet. So I have no problem with that. But out of the gate, before we even talk, and I actually was pretty candid with one of my connections, and she got a little upset, but then she started to think, she goes, you know what? You're right. Let's start over. So that, I think that's so crucial. So a lot of those are just kind of like an autoresponder type thing, where
it's
they
copy paste. It's software. It's a virtual assistant. It's not even that person. And when we're prospecting, if we really want to reach somebody, we want to be sincere in our communication. Mm-hmm. Sometimes technology, the downside of it is it's too efficient, right? You could get out, 400 messages in a day, but they could just be so impersonal. It's like robocalls, right? We get these calls on our cell phone and so forth. And so if we are going out and just building real communication, real relationships with people, and have some thought into how we're communicating, it's going to have a much better response.
Are you coaching a real estate industry by chance?
Yeah, I work with real estate agents and in some cases investors as well.
So what do you do with the robo-text from a realtor? Because I've actually been getting a few of those. Mm-hmm. And because I actually help realtors with this other company called Mailbox Power, actually help them be top of mind and, follow up and gratitude throughout the year. How would you handle someone who sent you one of those texts?
If I was receiving an automated text from somebody, mm-hmm. I would just ignore it. I mean, I wouldn't take the time to respond to it. If somebody sent a generic message, a copy paste message, but it was really compelling, I might respond to it. But if you think about sending text, you can send a lot of text and still personalize the message.
Exactly.
So, I'm not anti using tools, technology, etc. It's just something for all of us to think about. What is the result that we want, and how do we want to be communicating with people in the marketplace?
Exactly. I actually have a digital business card, and I prefer that versus the paper card. And plus, with everything with COVID, a lot of people really don't want to be handing things over. So I think that's very valuable, because you could actually have testimonies on there, like our interview. I'm going to actually put our interview on my digital card so people can see our interview. They could either watch it there, or they could click it and then go over to YouTube. So it's a really great way for me I'm paying it forward today, then I'll pay it forward again, because people are continuously going to that card.
Well, one of the things that you're doing, it's a good best practice for all of the listeners, is you've got an integrated approach. So we're on StreamYard, so that's one technology. But then we're on Facebook, and that's another technology. But then we're on YouTube, and that's another technology. And you just talked about the digital business card, and that's another technology. And then we're doing a collaboration, and that's another distinction, right? So, but it's all brought together. And that's a really powerful way to think in business. And so you're role modeling something really, really amazing for everybody watching.
Oh, thank you so much. So you have a new book coming up. So tell my audience all about this, and when is the published date?
Yeah, so the book's called Continuous Sales Improvement. And I've already written 15 books. And so I
Oh,
thought,
wow.
well, this next book, what do I want to put out to the world? And I start off, as I mentioned at the beginning of our show here, as a bottom producer. Now I've got an elite sales skill. So I went from down here to up. So it's like, how did I do that? And it in large part had to do with the mindset. And the mindset was to continue to get better and never stop learning. And so I've been working on my skills now for the last couple of decades. And I love sharing that with people, especially in sales, because if they'll work on their skills and they'll keep getting better and better, and the ideas start building on each other. So the book is 200 of my best sales ideas. The focus of it is on continuous sales improvement. The book's coming out in October, although chapter 1 is up on my website. And if you go to, for this particular book, the website is the same name as the book title, continuousssalesimprovement.com. And you can head on over there and just you just click a button to get chapter 1 for free. It'll be in the bookstores in October.
Oh, so are you going to be doing a tour, or are you just locally in Northern California?
We'll probably be doing a lot of virtual tours, if you will, finding people that they have their network, and then, hey, can I come on a show like this, promote the book, get the word out. And so I'm going to be doing a lot of promotion. I actually have a goal to become the all-time bestseller of my publisher. So their company record is 600,000 book sales.
Wow.
And so I want to, that's what I'm going to strive for. So I'm going to really be putting the word out, and not just as a launch, but once the book's launched, ongoingly marketing the book for years and years to come. And so that's what I'm up to with that project.
I would really love to pay it forward even more by having you on my show once a month up until you're published.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I'd love to do that.
We could find a schedule and make that happen. Because I think it's so important to share other people's content. That's actually how we grow, by paying it forward back and forth, doing collaborations. Now, do you have any collab books coming up?
I've done them in the past. I don't have any scheduled right now, but I love doing co-authored projects because it's a way to get more books out into the world where I don't have to do all the work myself, right? Just like what you and I are doing here. You don't have to do all this by yourself. I don't have to do it all by myself. You got the heavy lifting because it's your show. I just have to pop on and off. But the collaboration, you mentioned that a minute ago, and it's such a great way to grow in business, and it's a lot of fun. And we can leverage other people's skills, talents, abilities, and networks. So something for all of you watching to be thinking about: who can I collaborate with?
And I actually have someone that you can collaborate. His name is Drew Berman, and I will connect you either today or tomorrow. So if anything, you're building that relationship and you're getting to know each other. But yeah, to be a part of his collab book would be really amazing. But I'm going to make that connection later on today. So do you have any workshops, and what is your weekly call?
Yeah. So I have a 15-minute daily motivational call, 7:45 in the morning, and it goes Monday through Friday. So every Monday through Friday, you can pop on anytime you want. And we do it kind of like this. It's a Facebook Live. It's a podcast. It's a conference call. All the information about the 15-minute daily call is at dailymotivationalcall.com. And the whole idea is just to give you a little shot in the arm so you can go out and have a great day. So we have a couple hundred people a day that plug into that call live or the replay. So that's going on. And then I regularly do free sales classes.
Oh, and, wow. Okay.
Do them usually on a Zoom. People plug in from all over the world. I've been doing this for the last 20 plus years. So if you go to my website, saleschampion.com, and you opt in for anything, it'll put you on the email list. And if you're on the list, you'll be invited to classes ongoingly for years to come. So I love doing the classes, and we do them on sales courses, closing skills, prospecting, all different types of sales and success related topics.
That's awesome. So who else has inspired you to start this amazing lucrative career? is it Tony Robbins or
Yeah,
anybody like that?
I was very inspired by Tony Robbins to the point that when I was a cook at McDonald's, I told
What?
my girlfriend, I told my girlfriend, and she ended up becoming my wife. I told her, I said, I'm going to go work for Tony Robbins one day. And this is when I'm working at McDonald's. And she's like, the guy on TV? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go work for him. She's like, what are you going to do for Tony Robbins? I'm like, I have no idea. I just know I'm going to go work for him. Years later, I ended up working for him. And I had a 3-year run with Tony as one of his employees and learned so much from Tony. Then started my own business. Les Brown, Les become a friend of mine, and I've been really inspired by Les. Michael Gerber, the E-Myth. My first main book is called The System, and that really is inspired by Michael Gerber because he's a systems trainer, and he teaches all kinds of systems. I focus on sales systems. Napoleon Hill, Brian Tracy, Jack Canfield. I mean, all the classic guys, Mark Victor Hansen, Zig Ziglar, Tom Hopkins, John Assaraf, and a number of these guys I've team taught with before. I've done events with John Assaraf, Tom Hopkins, Les Brown, Michael Gerber. They've all spoken at my events. I've spoken at their events. And so it's kind of cool to like be a student and then get to team teach with these guys.
That's awesome. Have you ever had the pleasure of meeting Joe Girard?
I never did meet Joe, but I love who he was. His book, I've encouraged many people to read his book, How to Sell Anything to Anybody. I think what he did was genius. And the car industry, for whatever reason, doesn't do what he taught. It's like, he wrote about it in his book. He tells you exactly how to be successful in car sales, and they do just the opposite, which is kind of like whatever. But yeah, I love Joe Girard.
That's actually some of the things I was doing when I was up north, there in the Sacramento area, Rockland area. I actually did some lunch and learns, and I did meet with some salespeople at dealerships, but a lot of them didn't really see his vision.
Yeah.
But it was amazing what he did. I mean, he would send cards and gifts throughout the year, and it wasn't about, hey, I got a brand new caddy on the lot. It was like,
right,
I understand it's your kid's birthday. I understand it's your anniversary. Hey, this is Joe just popping in to say hello. So he's the one who inspired me to start, because I also have a client retention business. So he inspired me to be on top of mine and know, like, trust, and remembered. I think he's so amazing.
Here's the thing with the car industry, it's all about the mindset of hunting, getting the next deal closed today. Then the other mindset, which this is what you teach and what you're all about, is farming, which is nurturing the relationships. And so all the cars I bought in my lifetime, never once have I had a car salesperson call me after I bought, send me a letter, send me check in on, never once. But that's all that Joe did, because you studied him. And so it's amazing that here you have a world record holder in the Guinness Book of World Records, and no one listens to him.
That's just crazy. Does he still do events?
Joe's actually no longer alive, so he's.
You're kidding me.
Nope. He.
When did he pass?
It's probably been a little over a year now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I think I went to his website maybe 3 years ago because I was doing an online training. You really need to follow what this guy is doing.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God. What happened?
I'm not sure how he passed, but he was
so sad.
The man when it came to auto sales. And for any of you watching, if you enjoy great sales books, How to Sell Anything to Anybody, it's not just a car sales book. It's really for anybody. And Cindy can help you if you want to learn how to do it the way Joe did. Get with Cindy and say, hey, I listened to you and Eric, and what were you saying about Joe Girard? I want to learn how to nurture those relationships. Cindy can help you with that.
Thank you. I appreciate the plug. That's really nice of you. So I'm going to go a little bit over because I think there's a few things we need to talk about. We're right at like 19 minutes. Would you mind if we go a couple minutes over? Yeah. So as a small business owner, what is your best tip for, say, someone who was in the corporate arena and the COVID has affected their business? What is your best tip for them to start a brand new business? What is the whole process is?
Okay, so they're going to start a business from scratch. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Yeah. So I'll tell you something that I did early on in my career is I created a long-term vision. And in my experience, most people, their thought process, they think out 5 years in advance or less. And I was thinking in decades in my late 20s. So I saw in 1999 at age 28, I said, I am planting my flag and I'm going to be a professional sales trainer until my mid 70s. I'm 22 years into that vision. I've got 25 years to go. And so if you plant your flag and you're committed, people are going to feel that about you. So when you're doing business with somebody and they're not just dipping their toe in the water, hey, let me try out this new business and see how this works out. When I first got started, even though I was new in business, people could feel my commitment. Mm-hmm. And that really, really does make a difference. And so the concept is to think in decades, think out into the future, plant your flag. If you can find something to plant your flag in, it doesn't work out that way for everybody. How I learned that was from my father, and he never taught it to me like, son, let me teach you about planting your flag. He just was that. So he, in his mid to late 20s, became a pharmacist, did that his whole career, 50 years in the industry, 100,000 hours he logged as a pharmacist, and he's like the Michael Jordan of pharmacy. He got to the highest level because he planted his flag. And he never told me to do it, but I watched him do it, and I learned just by association. And so that would be a tip that could be valuable for anybody watching.
Well, thank you so much. So I'm going to close out with this. So it is National Humor Month. So how are you implementing a humor mindset in your business and in your personal life?
And you're asking me the question?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll answer it like this. I use humor as a strategy. And the way that I do it in selling, the first step in the sales process is trust and rapport. And one way that we can build rapport with people is through humor. And so a lot of times when I'm doing a speech, I'll say, I was very successful right out of high school. My first job I ever had right out of high school, I made over $100,000.
Wow.
I didn't make over $100,000. I made over 100,000 hamburgers. And I show this photo of me working at McDonald's, and I laugh and everybody laughs. And it's just like an icebreaker and a way to basically say, yeah, I have an elite sales skill, but I started off like we all did from the beginning. And so it's a way of just kind of saying, I'm here with you guys in the audience. We're all in this together. How can we improve? I'm getting better just like all of you. And so I use humor strategically, and I teach that in sales, that if you build humor into your presentation, it's a way of building rapport.
And what do you do for your family life, putting a little fun and humor into that part of your life?
My family life is super busy with 3 teenagers. 2 of my daughters do cheer. And so that's going on. We've got 2 of them I have my daughter and then my 2 stepdaughters. And so my daughter and my stepdaughter, they're both 15.
Oh, nice.
They're just getting their driver's license. So we're out doing that, driving them around and just taking family trips and stuff like anyone else. So those are some of the things.
That's really awesome, because I talk about this with my travel business, that we have 2 dates in the dash. What are you doing? What are you doing to make the most of that dash? So that's so cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to shout out before we close out?
Well, I just want to share with all of you that selling is a learned skill. And because it's a learned skill, it's a muscle that you can develop. Some people believe I'm not a born sales superstar. I wasn't either, but I learned how to get better at it. So if any of you are watching this and you're like, Eric, I'm not good at sales, that doesn't mean you can't become good. And if you really want to become good, I want you to know that it's possible. If you resonated with my message, I'd love to connect with you at some point in the future through one of my programs or books or social media. And so that's what I'll end with.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much. So I'm going to close out. So this is Cindy at Ask Cindy Connector Live. Make sure that you go to YouTube, hit subscribe, hit that bell icon, and of course, comment on the videos. And definitely also go to YouTube and type in Eric Lofholm. What is the name of your business that is on YouTube again?
So the YouTube channel is Continuous Sales Improvement. So if you search for my name or Continuous Sales Improvement, my YouTube channel will pop up.
Well, there you go. And guys, pay it forward every single day. Find 5 people to express gratitude and make those gratitude calls without a sales pitch. Just saying, hey, this is Cindy. Hey, Eric, I just want to let you know I appreciate you and you have a wonderful day. But I wanted to let you know that I am grateful for being in my life and inspiring me. So thank you so much, guys. And we'll see you here on the next show. I got Kevin O'Connor tomorrow or tonight, actually on the show. And we're actually going to talk about how to make a positive mindset if you're dealing with anybody who's a little bit narcissistic. So we'll see how interesting it's going to be. So we'll see you later. Thank you, Eric.
Bye-bye.